What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Hot 97 News. This is a brand new live news show where we talk about all the biggest stories across the country. It is Thursday, February 19th. I'm your host, Lana Harris, here with Runzel with 2 N's.
What's up?
And Million.
Grand Risings.
Yeah.
I
Grand Risings.
Yeah.
freaking hate Grand Risings, and you know this.
Hello, my love. My darling, my heart.
Grand Risings.
Because why can't y'all just say good morning?
Because good morning don't sound as good as Grand Rising. Grand Rising sounds like you doing something.
Grand Rising sounds like you're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Calm down. It's the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get it. We
like
get it.
rocks if you say Grand Rising.
But you know what? We are starting off the show with something a little special for you guys today. We got a little Black History message from our President of the United States, Donald Trump. Here it is.
So happy Black History Month, happy Black History Year, and happy Black History Century. Thank you all. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
We got a whole century. You see how he pointed?
Like
You.
He's a little cultured, man.
Yeah.
He's just,
You.
that's black people right there.
Happy Black History Century.
Century.
Everyone. You know what? This is why we start off the show with 1 minute of Black excellence, because
Exactly.
y'all just be playing on our faces sometimes.
Straight
You know what? This is the same man who just had Michelle and Barack Obama as monkeys on social media.
Flat
Now
out.
you got to say happy Black History Century.
Exactly. And if you thought this 1 minute Black Excellence was going to be about him, it's not.
So here is Runzel with 2 N's with today's 1 minute of Black excellence.
Yeah. Now, before Hollywood ever thought about diversity, before Tyler Perry was a thing, we had William D. Foster, who created one of the first black-owned film production companies in America. All right, his films featured all-black casts at the time when black actors were largely excluded from mainstream cinema. All right, in 1910, he founded the Foster Photo Play Company in Chicago, making him one of the earliest black film producers in U.S. history. And think about the confidence he had. He started a film company when films didn't even have sound. That's like starting a podcast with no microphones. You know what I mean? Now, before Hollywood gave black creators a seat at the table, they built their own table. And then y'all charged them a mission. So this is y'all 1 minute of Black excellence. Shout out to my man,
Let's go.
William D. Foster.
That boy look clean.
He do
He
look
looks
clean.
like that actor, the one who always plays the villain.
Who?
Dang.
The one that always.
I wish I would have.
The one actor that always plays the villain. Yeah, who's that
You
actor?
talking
He
about the Tyler
does.
Perry film?
I know. No, I know y'all know who I'm talking about.
Is he
always
black?
play. Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking. Oh, you talking about him?
Yes.
He could be. I mean, he could
Oh,
be swag.
if I think about it, I'm gonna look during the break
One
and
that
tell you
always
guys.
plays
So
the
now you
villain.
gotta stick
Oh,
around.
I know who you're talking
you
about.
know who I'm talking
He
about.
was on. He was in Friday. He was in next Friday. Not Pinky.
You don't know.
Pinky.
You don't know.
Yeah, I do know.
I don't think you know who I'm
Yes,
talking
I
about.
do.
Well,
He played Pinky in Friday.
Let me look
He
at
played Pinky in next Friday.
Friday.
Next Friday.
Um,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Clifton Powell.
Clifton Powell.
Am I talking about Clifton Powell?
Yes, that's exactly who you're talking
That's
about.
not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
This is not what I'm talking about. I'll find it. You guys stick around after the break. I'll find it. Okay. A lot of news to talk about today. First of all, everybody online finally realizes we might be going to war in Iran. You heard it here first. Boy, when Rhonda, we have a group chat for the news, talk about what news we're going to talk about the next day. He said, man, so we really might be going to war in Iran. I'm like, bro, have you not been listening to me for the past few weeks?
I didn't think it was true. Well, here's the thing. I didn't think it was true. I always think optimistic about things and I don't like to think the negative about
Yeah.
stuff. And I was like, maybe this might just fizzle out and do their own thing. But no, Iran is getting exactly what they wanted.
Look, man,
Like
I
what?
don't know what's about to happen here because, it's still up in the air.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing that's conclusive yet, but apparently the U.S. military is prepared to strike Iran as early as this weekend. So it could happen very soon. Now, Trump said he hasn't made any decision on that yet, but he has convened his top advisors on yesterday, for a meeting about this. And when I heard that, my first thought was who, his son-in-law?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But actually, yes, it did mean his son-in-law. Yes, no, he was there, Jared Kushner.
What?
He is just in it, bro.
Why is he everywhere? What is he doing?
This man is just everywhere on behalf of the U.S. He's in Russia. He's in Iran. He's in Israel with Gaza. He's just his Trump's daughter's husband. That's what we're talking about here. And of course, envoy Steve Witkoff was there. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, other people were there. And the White House officials are saying that Iran is expected to give more details on what they're willing to do here in the negotiations in the next couple of weeks, but these same White House officials wouldn't say whether or not they would attack before that happens or not. So what we've been talking about here is that U.S. officials and Iranian officials have been talking in Switzerland to try to figure all this out. Clearly, that's not going well because they have not been dialing any of this stuff back. This, again, is just an example of the type of armada that we have sent to the Middle East. There are thousands of troops at this point, a couple warships. We have some aircraft carriers, 2 aircraft carriers that are either there or headed there at this point. And none of that is being dialed back. In fact, Trump has reportedly ordered more of a military buildup in the Middle East, including a second carrier group. And apparently full forces should reportedly be in place by mid-March.
All this because you don't want Iran to protect themselves. Because they already said that we'll work with you on the uranium. You want the missiles too? Is that what we're talking about here?
That's a good question. Okay, so what's on the table right now is the nuclear program. So again, this all started with protesters and Trump saying he was going to go save the protesters. The protests are over. They went anyway with a full armada, and they're saying, we actually now would like you guys to do something about your nuclear program. That was very strange, as we talked about yesterday, because I thought we obliterated their nuclear program last year when we attacked Iran with Israel. We did that so we could obliterate it and never talk about this ever again. We eliminated their nuclear threat. Here we are not even a year later with an armada outside of the Middle East, again, because of their nuclear program. So now they're there, and they would like Iran to have 0% enrichment for their uranium, which is what can build a nuclear weapon. 0%. Iran likes to say that they are only enriching their uranium because they would like to use it for peaceful civilian purposes, energy, whatever medical needs, blah, blah, blah. And then that's why we're using it, and that's why we need it, and it's our right as a country to be able to do that, and you can't tell us we can't. So they have uranium enriched to 60% right now. Nobody recognizes that as being peaceful. You don't need it to be a 60% enriched for peaceful purposes. So Iran is saying, okay, we'll maybe consider diluting it. You know, like, see how we can work with you on that front. Trump is saying, no, we want 0% enrichment. Y'all can't have it at all. Israel, who has entered the chat again, they would like them to also have 0% enrichment and get rid of their ballistic missiles program and stop supporting all these terrorist groups, all these militant groups that are in that area, according to Israel. So all that is kind of complicating things because Iran is not going to do all of that, period. And if they don't, the U.S. and Israel plan to attack.
And that's scary. You're telling a country to stop defending yourself for what? Like, what's the point of us like saying that they can't defend themselves? Are they trying to impede? Are we trying to put our troops there? Are we trying to control Iran now?
We are trying to, from what I can tell, protect Israel. Israel feels threatened by the other countries in that area because they say that they don't acknowledge Israel's right to exist. Thus, we are threatened by that. Like we need to make sure anybody around us wants us to be here, is cool with us being here, and acknowledges our right to be here. So these countries have not done that, and that's kind of the whole crux of this issue. So even though Trump hasn't made a decision on whether or not to attack, Israel seems to be fully preparing themselves for the possibility that this is happening. So they have said, essentially, that they are going to start preparing their people and their emergency services for a potential attack. And I'm trying to find my notes on this. Okay, here they go, right here. So what Israel has done so far is find their emergency services, and specifically their, what's it called? Homefront Command, and had both of those get ready for just the possibility of them actually being under attack from Iran. Again, if this pops off, they are fully expecting the same missiles that came at them the last time. So Israel has raised their alert level, and they've stepped up their military preparedness because of this. And you know, when we talk about emergency services, we're talking about making sure their ambulances are ready to go, hospitals and trauma centers, fire and rescue. Like, if we get hit by a missile, are you guys prepared? Homefront Command is the branch of Israel's military that focuses on protecting civilians inside the home front, inside Israel, not fighting on the border. And they would do things like set up or update public alert instructions, the sirens, the apps, the guidance on what to do if they take fire. They would coordinate shelters and protected spaces. So they are fully preparing literally for war right now.
They're preparing to jump Iran is basically what you're saying. Them two countries are going to be jumping Iran. And the thing that is crazy about that is if Iran gets jumped, they're part of a group also. China with BRICS, and they also have Russia too. I think this might lead to some type of global war if we actually take it there.
You know, it's not really known right now if Russia and China are going to get involved. They didn't get involved last time. You know, Israel and U.S. teamed up and bombed them last year. So, you know, everybody's kind of waiting to see what happens with that. But if Iran attacks, Israel is in a lot of danger because of the rest of the groups that are out there. Like we've all seen, you know, Hezbollah and the Houthis and all these like rebel groups that are in that area. They're expected to join in whatever attack Iran does. And so, you know, Israel has bombed all those countries like Lebanon and Yemen and all these other places out there who they have conflicts with. They're expected to, you know, get involved in this as well if this, you know, explodes into something weird.
I only say that China might get involved because Iran is one of China's biggest suppliers of oil in general. So we're attacking one of China's biggest necessities for relationships. And we're expecting not to get hit back with anything?
I mean, we did it last year. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do not know what these people are planning to do.
I have a question. So, do we actually? Would we need Israel? Like, I know Israel is. They're on our team. We're teaming up with them to help out. You know, with Iran. Do we technically need Israel on our team? Couldn't we do this? Like, say, how do I say? Like, you know, Israel's like our little brother, and it's like, hey, you want to jump in this fight? I don't want you to get hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Do we need them?
They're the big brothers.
Oh, they're the big brothers.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
It does depend on who you ask.
I mean, y'all talk about the only reason I say that. Well, the only reason I say that is because y'all talk about how big and bad USA is and how big our military is and this, that, and the third. And I mean, from my understanding, shoot, we got the best out there. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason I say, do we really need Israel? But I mean, I guess we do. I guess we not the big dogs.
I was gonna say correction. They're not our big brother. They're our daddies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Listen, man.
Hey, I'm for real though, bro.
Oh, gosh.
There's no real reason why we've been supplying Israel so long, other than making them the biggest superpower in the Middle East.
Okay, so I guess so let's reverse my question then. Does Israel need our help?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is a loaded question, which is why it's funny when you always ask this stuff, because I'm like, bro, you're asking the quiet part out loud, but also it's a question a lot of us have at this point.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the official answer is that Israel is U.S.'s ally, and they are our, in fact, strongest ally in that region. If we want to keep an eye on everything that's going on out there, we need Israel. That would be, you know, just our eyes and ears.
I got you.
In the region in the best possible way, according to the U.S. Some people say, you know, we support Israel because it is specifically in the U.S. interest to do that. Other people question that and wonder if Israel's kind of forcing the U.S.'s hand in a lot of ways, because they wonder why we get, you know, all this money going over there towards Israel. Why are they getting billions of dollars for Israel when we could use billions of dollars here in the United States? You know, who's really making the decisions here? It's supposed to be a collaborative effort. Trump's supposed to be the one in charge. People say, you know, is Israel's leader Benjamin Netanyahu really the one who's, you know, pulling the strings here? I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So do we need them? I mean, I don't know that we do, but we have them.
What?
We have each other.
Duly noted.
And we're going down together. We're fighting together. We're attached at the hip. And that is what it is. Some people think that a lot of these lawmakers are paid off, you know, by Israeli figures or just, you know, Israeli lobbyists. There are lobbyists for all types of things, not just Israeli lobbyists. There are, you know, lobbyists who do literally anything under the sun. So that's not like the craziest thing in the world, but it comes up in conversation.
Okay. All right.
So who are our politicians really acting on behalf of, us or other interests?
Or daddy.
That's
Yeah,
I'm being for
Pause.
real. I'm just saying.
Pause.
I'm just saying.
Pause.
So, you know, yeah, now Israel's finding themselves on the other end of this potential war. Because again, nothing's really probably going to come over here.
Yeah.
But Israel's right there. So this is definitely a big problem for them. That's why they are preparing emergency services right now. But, you know, they've got a lot of power as well. Like, Israel doesn't just have nothing. They're just not nobody.
Yeah, okay.
So they can defend themselves, but they also know they have the U.S. as well.
For sure.
Okay. I am so mad I didn't start off with this first. Happy birthday to former Prince Andrew, who was just arrested
It's a
on
crazy,
his birthday.
it's a crazy happy birthday.
Surprise! Yes, because they are a little suspicious. He's done some misconduct in relation to the Epstein files, and I think this is nuts. You know this man was not expecting this. British police did arrest Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, on suspicion of literally misconduct in public office. Police said that 2 addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk have been searched as part of this investigation. Earlier, there were photographers capturing what appeared to be unmarked police cars rolling up to where he lives, and he said that he's been arrested. So these are not allegations of sexual misconduct, which he has denied, and he is settled civilly. This investigation centers on potential misuse of his role as a United Kingdom trade envoy. So there is a criminal investigation, not a civil one. Very rare for this to happen. Very rare for a senior royal or even a former senior royal to get arrested as part of any kind of formal investigation. This has not happened to them. You know what I mean? This happens to us,
yeah.
the little people. But specifically, investigators are looking into claims that Andrew sent confidential, sensitive, trade-related documents to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein when he was the trade envoy for the United Kingdom. And they're looking into claims that a woman was trafficked by Epstein to the United Kingdom for a sexual encounter involving former Prince Andrew. And if we're keeping track of everything that's now happened to Andrew as it relates to all of this, he has been stopped from doing any royal work. He has been stripped of all his military titles and his charity roles. He has lost the ability to be called His Royal Highness and the His Royal Highness treatment publicly. He's not treated as a frontline royal anymore. He's had to pay a lot of money to settle the Virginia Guffrey lawsuit, who is a victim in relation to all of this, who sadly committed suicide as she was trying to expose what was happening to her and what she was accusing, of having happened to a lot of men at the hands of Epstein and others. Andrew's also lost taxpayer-funded police security and got pushed out of royal housing perks. Now he is under arrest and under criminal investigation.
I love that. The UK is showing that pedophilia is a crime in their country.
Pedophiles. We have to say,
you can say the word.
People don't know what.
Pedophilia is a crime in their country. Sweden also showed us, in a sense, that pedophilia is a crime in their country. I wonder what's going on with America.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Because again, the fact that we still have not actually put any of these people in the Epstein files under investigation.
Talk about
I'm not
Sweden.
saying.
What did Sweden do?
I thought they did that with the prince. They the Norway. Sorry.
Oh.
In Norway. Yeah.
Norway. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Trying to follow you here.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah. They're not even putting people in investigations in America. And that's the thing that's like crazy to me. Why are we like not even looking into these people as opposed to, I mean, they full on arrested somebody on their birthday. I love that.
Yeah, this either is a warning, a threat, or some type of something towards Americans to be like, hey, just let y'all know, we eventually y'all gonna get taken down at some point. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a warning shot. It feels like hey, we doing it over here. It's gonna slowly trickle down and get to the U.S. That's how it feels to me.
Okay. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah,
First of all, I hope so.
Oh, 100%.
Also, I just looked into it. Yes, a former Norway leader has been charged with corruption after a probe into alleged Epstein ties. But as far as Andrew goes, he has always denied any wrongdoing. He says he regrets his affiliation with Epstein, but that he didn't do anything wrong. Now he has been arrested. And surprise, surprise, not a peep from our Department of Justice. Is anybody there embarrassed or horrified that it took them weeks after the Epstein files were dropped to arrest this man in the U.S. has had these same files for years?
Exactly.
Can't seem to find one person to arrest?
Exactly.
Can't find one person that child sex traffickers traffic to.
Yeah, and I think what the UK did is dope because it shows. I mean, it's an example. Hey, this can be done. You know what I mean? Y'all should be doing this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set the example. We're gonna set the bar this high, and I think. This is what I think. I think that if the U.S. being so and bully and this, that, and the third. You know, they don't never want to be one-upped ever. You know what I mean? They never want to be one-upped.
Yeah.
So if UK is, arresting people from the Epstein files already, I think the U.S. is going. I mean, the UK is arresting people from the Epstein. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
UK people are arresting people from the Epstein files already. I think the U.S. is going to be like, oh, we got to jump on it. We got to at least get one or two. They can't be the only ones getting arrested. No, we got to show them that we doing stuff too. That's how I feel.
Listen,
it might happen.
The FBI specifically looked into Andrew-related materials in their Epstein investigation, and they didn't see anything wrong. They concluded there wasn't enough evidence to open a criminal probe against him. And actually, reportedly, there was an Andrew-focused probe in the middle of last year, and they cut it. They said, yeah, nope, nothing to see here.
To your point, though, Dale, when you was talking about, we see how the UK is doing it, we might act. It's our president that's in the files.
Yeah, for sure.
That's our number one leader in the files. Who's gonna hold him accountable?
You got a point.
There have been lawmakers who've called out the allegations against Trump in the files, and it's been very sickening. You know, they're very, very sick allegations here, and they just go untalked about in a real meaningful way. In fact, lawmakers who've gotten to see more than we have, see unredacted files, says, no, there's really sick stuff in here. In fact, Republican lawmaker Lauren Boebert, who once said she didn't give a rip about the Epstein files, is now saying, she has seen terrifying language in the Epstein files, emails about torture, frequent talk about consumption, a restaurant called The Cannibal. The women around Epstein were deeply involved in trafficking children, she says. Sick, sick people. Remember, they've seen unredacted files. This was a couple of days after they were finally able to see those. You also had Republican lawmaker Nancy Mace say on Piers Morgan's show, you would be shocked at some of the names that I have seen come across the DOJ in emails that the DOJ is protecting, in her words. She said people on both sides of the aisle. She said people who are famous, people who are rich, people in power, prime ministers, former presidents, media personalities. I mean, we don't even know how extensive that is. They dropped all those names, remember, the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, this includes people who have nothing to do with this, too. It's like, bro, who are y'all protecting right now? It's insane at this point.
Who's, I think Oprah Winfrey's name was, not Oprah Winfrey,
Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg.
I just saw that,
And I literally just saw that, like, right before we got on, and she was like, whoa.
Right.
And here's the thing I'm starting to understand is that a lot of people's names are in these files that are connected in a way that has nothing to do with the actual Epstein at all. Like so they have correlation to somebody that knows Epstein that was trying to do deals with Epstein or something like this. And it's like, my name got brought up because I'm the person that they were doing the deal for. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. So, you get people like that and it's like, oh, that sucks that you know what I mean? But we still don't know.
But I also think that tells us a heck of a lot. Russell Wilson was also named and immediately said, just like Whoopi Goldberg, this is what this is about. If Lana Harris's name popped up, I'm
1,000%.
telling you the second later.
Come on now.
This is why nothing to see here. I am innocent. It's the silence for me.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's a strategy from the DOJ to release all those names so they could dilute it. So now they can say, oh, yeah, see, we got all these people's names in it and they're not related. Then you correlate that to Trump, too. That's what they're trying to do. It's crazy because there's no reason why if I'm just making a sale or didn't even get a sale. I just went and consulted, heard about you selling a jet, and I'm in the Epstein files. Like, that is crazy to me.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense how they're rolling it out. And it seems like people on both sides of the aisle at this point are saying this looks very freaking fishy. And this, to me, is the definition of a cover-up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys are quite literally covering it up. People are going down in other countries after they release these files. We've been sitting on this for years. I mean, all right. So now we have at least a former prince who has been arrested in relation to this, and we'll see how that goes and what that ends up spiraling into and what the DOJ says about it. Again, last year they dropped that probe into Andrew-specific investigations. Nothing to see here. Did they find something that we don't know about? Like what? Like what just happened? What do you mean?
Yeah.
All right. This one is definitely going to pour into the next half hour because this is crazy. This is crazy. Trump administration is now letting ICE detain refugees. Refugees are here so that they can flee whatever the situation they are seeking refuge from.
Literally in the name.
And these people are vetted heavily. So there's a Department of Homeland Security memo that apparently is going around right now, and it expands ICE's authority to detain refugees 1 year after U.S. entry for revetting, and basically requires them to be detained if they haven't applied for permanent residency. So that reverses a policy that was in place before that said they didn't have to be detained for the crime of not filling out paperwork, because we already went through the process of seeing, that they're here, who they are, they're fine. And refugees go through one of the longest background check processes of any group entering the country. They have multiple interviews. They get fingerprinted, biometrics done on them, security checks through U.S. intelligence. You have the DHS, the FBI, the State Department, a lot of people looking into these refugees to make sure that they are not anybody crazy. They are who they say they are, and it could take months. It could take up to a year. They're vetted.
Yeah.
So the fact that these people who just haven't gotten a green card yet are possibly going to be detained makes you wonder, why are you trying to beef up the numbers of how many people you're detaining? Turns out the government is paying a lot of freaking money to private companies to hold all of these illegal immigrants, or now refugees, in their facilities. So that is what we're going to talk about. You literally will not believe what we're going to tell you after the break. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more for you. Okay, welcome back to Hot 97 News, everybody. When we left you before the break, we were talking about the Trump administration now letting ICE detain refugees. And again, I make me wonder, at least, why are they trying to stack all these people in? These aren't security threats, and the government can't even afford to keep up just the crumbling, disgusting jails for U.S. citizens. So where are they going to put them all? So yes, turns out they are paying private companies to hold these people, and these private companies, I've seen reported, could get anywhere from $100 up to over $400 per inmate per day. So let's say the budgeted amount for one inmate in one facility is $224. That is over $1,500 a week for one inmate. One inmate. There are more than 75,000 immigrants being detained by ICE as of mid-January. So that means the government is dishing out more than $117 million a week for these illegal immigrants to hold them. Private companies are getting loaded just for holding these people. So why is the government now changing the rules to let ICE detain refugees? Some of the most vetted people in the country. You tell me.
What?
You tell me.
Now, don't murder me when I say this.
Okay.
What delegates a private company? Because I got a garage that's pretty big, and it can hold about 10, 15 people. You know what I'm saying? It can hold about 10, 15 people. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money.
Whoa.
That's your first thought.
Listen, that's a lot of money for
Let me get a piece. Boy.
That's a lot.
Boy.
Listen, I'm not holding them because they're criminals. They just held until they can get their proper paperwork.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
This is different from ICE.
Is it?
This is different from ICE
Oh,
now.
okay.
It's a little different from ICE.
Crazy.
Y'all gotta come with me on this one now. Y'all can't.
we cannot.
Y'all can't knock me over the head for me thinking like that, bruh. $400 per person
Per day.
per day. Come on now, big dog.
Can I be an investor?
See? See? I know I'm not
Let me
crazy.
stop.
I know I'm not
Let me
crazy.
stop. That is wild.
So it is. No, that's funny. Apparently, they want to put these people in warehouses now too. ICE has quietly been just buying up warehouses to turn them into detention facilities. In fact, there was a document released on Friday that shows the Trump administration said they plan to spend $38.3 billion to boost detention capacity to 92,600 beds.
Wow.
So obviously you have to have people
Yeah.
in them if you're planning to do all of this stuff, which means that, maybe I should just tack the refugees on here and pump money into these people's pockets who are holding them.
That's wild.
They're reportedly planning for 8 large-scale detention centers capable of housing 7,000 to 10,000 detainees for periods averaging less than 60 days, couple months, 2 months. 7,000 to 10,000. So just for kicks, I looked it up. I'm like, take Atlanta. Take the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, which is under investigation right now for terrible conditions. They hold just over 1,000. 1,000. It's overcrowded, so they've got almost 3,000 people packed into there. But this facility is for 7,000 to 10,000 detainees, so that's a lot of people crammed into a warehouse.
Yeah.
And people are getting paid big money just to have them there. So that's where it's it's one thing to have an immigration push and try to get all these illegal immigrants off the street. But if you're going to have, we're paying a lot of money to make this happen.
Yeah.
it's one thing to get him out the country immediately. Hey, man, you are a murderer and you weren't supposed to be here, so bye. You know, we're kicking you out of the country. You got to exchange a couple mil before that happens?
That is crazy.
Bro.
So are these detainees facilities, are they just holding facilities essentially, correct? They're just holding none of the refugees are in trouble by any means.
So they're in trouble in the sense of they're going to be kicked back to their countries.
If they don't get the proper paperwork in time.
No, that would be for the refugees. I don't even know what they're going to do with the refugees.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the refugees. So this right here is a holding facility for the refugees.
For all of them.
For essentially when they come over here. So you get held here for an extended amount of time until your paperwork gets all processed and stuff like that.
This is for I found you on the street or I know you're not supposed to be here. Or if you're a refugee, you didn't fill out the paperwork for your green card in time.
Okay.
Now I'm putting you in this facility.
Okay, now, okay.
Good luck.
Okay, I get
when
it
you
now.
get there. Because, you know, there are even lawsuits that are making some of these illegal immigrants just like work for either nothing or like $1 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be voluntary. They feel like they should be getting paid more money, but there are active lawsuits that these companies are treating them terribly. So like when you really think about it, like we're just cramming in a bunch of people. They are people. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are a lot of them who are criminals, hard criminals, and it's like, you know, what happens to you, I really don't care about. If you murdered somebody, if you did something, you know, egregious to somebody, you know, good on you. But some of these people really are just here because they're here and they were working and now they're getting treated in the same way as a murderer. You know what I mean? That's where it's like, bro, and people are getting paid big money for it.
And they're using our tax dollars too because they're giving government contracts. Where do you think the government is getting the money from? Our tax dollars.
Well, our jails are crumbling and disgusting for our people. I mean, that's why we can't build roads. We can't build hospitals.
True.
We can't do subsidies for people who need help because we have to build a warehouse prison for detainees and pay a private company millions of dollars for it per week.
I would be
crazy.
okay with them just telling these refugees, like, no, you can't come in. Because it is a lot of people that are coming in on a yearly basis. I think last year it was somewhere around upward of around 60,000 people, right, that came into this country. So just telling them no, I would understand that. But for you to 60,000, 70,000 fiscal year 2024. That's when that's the last report that I seen. 60 to 70,000 refugees coming in. I understand if you tell them, no, we just don't got any space. We don't have any jobs for you. But for you to tell them to come in, then you're going to imprison them too, just so they can make money off of you. And they still are not saying that they're even going to be allowed to be admitted as citizens too, right?
I don't know what they plan to do and how that's going to work out because they've obviously had problems with how do I get out of here? How do I have my court case? If I was supposed to have a court case go on, you know, there's all types of things that have been reported that these illegal immigrants are going through, whether or not they were hardened criminals and like need to go or were just waiting for a process to work out here. You know, if you grab somebody who's showing up for their court case, you know, I was trying to go through the process the right way, you know, but you got me anyway. I'm a refugee. Yeah, I didn't do the paperwork, but you've already seen I'm not a security threat, and I thought that's what this whole thing was about. So last year, I will say, Trump said that refugees really can't come in here like that. They have a policy cap for 7,500 refugees to come here for fiscal year 2026. Okay. So they have already stopped all that. Like that's something that they have already addressed. And the people who can come are, remember, priority South Africans, the white South Africans. They have the priority to come in the country and everybody else, you know.
Oh, that is... Wow. I mean, it just never fails. I mean, it just never changes, bro.
Happy Black History Century.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, it just doesn't... white South Africans got it. I mean...
Priority. That was literally like the policy. Look it up. I'm not kidding.
Priority is wild.
But they're being detained right now. Right?
I don't know.
It is. They're being detained. That's what I'm looking at. It says immigration would... This would affect white Afrikaners too.
If they did not go through the process to get their green card, this applies to all refugees. that was addressing who is allowed to come in the country right now. It's not like just, tens of thousands of people anymore. It is like 7,500 as a cap, but the priority goes to the white Afrikaners. That's what they're called. Like, that's what the Trump administration decided last year. So
wild.
it is pretty freaking nuts when you think about it all.
They say, yeah, you can be African. You just got to be white. It's all good. You just got to be a white African. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay, moving right along. Just when you thought the Nancy Guthrie case couldn't get any weirder, it just outdid itself again. Okay, so on background, again, somebody abducted NBC News anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mom in the middle of the night on February 1st. They've been sending empty threats ever since, demanding money by a deadline or else, and ransom letters that they're randomly sending to TMZ. No proof they have her or literally anything else happening after missing the deadline. So again, empty threats. If you don't do this, then we're going to do this, and nothing happens. Reporters, pizza delivery, flowers, Amazon, they've all shown up to the house. The crime scene's very compromised at this point. And this woman, Nancy Guthrie, has been without her medication for weeks. So that's kind of the background of what's happening. And before we get into the real updates, the biggest thing that we can't not mention right now is Savannah Guthrie's book. A lot of people are talking about that. A lot of people are talking about that online because Savannah Guthrie talks about how her family used to pretend to kidnap each other or play a sort of kidnapping game with each other. And it's just like, man, like, what are the odds of that? What, like, a horrifying twist that's come full circle for this family. You know what I mean? Literally. So Savannah Guthrie released a book in 2024, and it's called Mostly What God Does. And in that book, she says, this is a direct quote from it. I kind of pulled this for you. You can read it on the screen. About once a year in the summertime, Cousin Terry orchestrated a kidnapping of my sister and me. It went down like this. The cousins would visit for a few days at our house in Tucson, and then on the morning they were to leave, Terry would wake us up early, shushing us in the pre-dawn darkness as we made our escape. It says that as we made our escape, we would all pile into her rickety station wagon and head north, the sky streaking with bright oranges and pinks as the sun rose over the colorless desert landscape somewhere between Phoenix and Tucson. Then it says Terry would make a pit stop and let Annie and me, Savannah, call home at a payphone and say, Mom, Cousin Terry kidnapped us to take us to her house. And my mother would feign shock, protest how terribly she would miss us, and assure us she would drive up to retrieve us in a few days. So this is, what are the odds?
Come on now. Are we still? What are we? Come on. Everybody get on my wavelength now. Everybody get on my wavelength. Finally, I'm not going to say it, but just get on my wavelength. Get on my wavelength. You know? This is kind of crazy, right? Book. Nobody knew about it. Who knew that she wrote this book? I didn't know about this till yesterday. I didn't know about this book till yesterday. Nobody knew about this kidnapping game till yesterday, bro. I found this out yesterday. And all of a sudden, what?
Come on now. Y'all never played kidnapping games when y'all were kids?
No. Never.
Look, man, I don't know what to think because her family has been ruled out as suspects.
All the way, all the way.
You know what I mean? Like, they are all victims. I would be horrified. I mean, I would be literally digging up my mom's house if my mom went missing, as you said. I would be trying to investigate myself. You know what I mean? Like, just like not sleeping. But, you know, you hear some of these details and it's a kidnapping game and your mom later on people don't just get kidnapped.
Nah.
What are the odds?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a weird coincidence is all we're saying. It's just a weird coincidence that this book, this was written in 2024, is now 2026. Who knows what really is going on? And that's the crappy part about this whole thing is that we really don't know what the truth is. And, you know, God will reveal the truth eventually, 100%. But at the end of the day, the odds are just looking against, you know, the family more and more. I'm just like, hey, man, this is not looking good, is what I'm saying. It's just not looking good, you know?
It looks how it looks.
And that what it looked like is...
It looks how it looks.
That's all I'm saying.
We all know that this looks how it looks. You know what I mean? But again, authorities have said the family has been fully cooperative and they should be treated as victims, not suspects, because again, like they are going through what is probably a horrifying time. Also, I can tell you that the reward money is now over $200,000.
Oh, they moved it up.
an anonymous donation came in of $100,000.
Stop playing.
So now it is over 200,000. Somebody
Stop
anonymously donated
playing,
$100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is weird by any means, man.
It's weird. It's weird.
I thought it was weird in the beginning when the reward money for information was $2,500.
Well, exactly.
That was strange.
Well, you know why it was that, and now I'm starting to understand this plot a little bit more. And again, I like to say now I'm getting in my news bag, so I like to say
okay.
this is just me talking. Okay, I'm just talking. That 2,500 was 2,500, right? 2,500.
It was Yep. That was when it was at first.
So that 2,500 was only a reward because they thought that somebody was gonna pay that bit to whoever who is the kidnapper fast. So they 2,500 was like, all right, well, we just throw that out there because we're gonna get this Bitcoin paid real quick. Now it's like, all right, man, they not biting. So
I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? I'm saying it without saying it. You dig what I'm saying?
What you're trying to say is you feel like there's a chance that whoever kidnapped this woman thought it was going to happen so fast.
That 2,500 was
that
boom,
we'll find it, because really what happens is like the sheriff's department will put up like 2,500.
Yeah.
So I'm sure even they thought maybe
it's gonna go.
We're gonna find this person. Immediately.
No, 100%.
And you're thinking maybe they thought, who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who is to say?
But yes, so now it's over $200,000. And investigators are also in contact with Mexican authorities to see if she's been taken over the border, which I would have imagined they would have already been in contact with Mexican authorities. But, now they say they're doing that. And they're also looking into using genealogy research to try to find a suspect. That is interesting. Okay, there was no DNA match on the glove that was found 2 miles from Nancy's home. Remember, they said that glove looked just like the one that the suspect was seen wearing in that video. And the idea here is that, the suspect took off the gloves with all the evidence and just tossed it out the window, and there's one of them. They claim they have found 2 gloves. Wouldn't say where they found the second one or anything about the second one, honestly. But this one they said they have run. The sheriff's department ran it. The FBI ran it through their databases. It did not come up with a suspect match. So the sheriff said they could try genealogy research. And what that means is that they're going to take DNA from the glove they found. They're going to upload it into a public ancestry-style database where people submit their DNA to find relatives, like GED match or family tree DNA, and then they're going to look for partial matches like distant cousins or literally anybody and build a family tree from those relatives and then narrow it down to a specific person who fits the description, a male in Arizona who's the right age and fits the timeline. So imagine literally your whole family line is exposed as they're looking for you. And they don't really know if that's actually the glove that he used. So I don't know whose DNA and whose family they're about to find. But it's like another lead. They've already detained a couple of people and then had to let them go because oops, y'all weren't the right guys. But now it's all right, I guess even if you find DNA and you find this man's family or this woman's family, I think they actually said it was a man's DNA on the glove. Even if you find this man's family, how do you know for sure that's the right glove? Boy, if I just tossed a glove out the window in Arizona, I would be sweating right now.
What? I don't know why you would toss just a random glove out the window, but yes, I would be too. 100%.
I don't know why you would toss
100%.
a random glove out the window after kidnapping someone with those gloves.
That's because
my DNA is on it.
That's because.
Why would I do something like this?
Because they knew. They ain't finna get me. I don't know.
Whole situation is very strange. And again, my heart goes out to this freaking family.
Yeah.
Who is standing by. Imagine these are the developments and this is your mom missing. And you're watching all this go down like the rest of us and it looks how it looks.
Yeah, it don't look good. It doesn't look good.
It looks very interesting.
And who knows, man? This could be all just we could be thinking the worst as far as like how I'm thinking. Like, oh man,
You think of the worst.
yes, I am, because when I see stuff like this, bro, it just fits. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I think about my family, and it's just like I would be doing way more than just getting on the internet and talk. Bro, I probably wouldn't even be on the internet. You probably wouldn't hear oh, I miss my mama or nothing. You wouldn't hear that because I'll be in the streets trying to figure this out. Like there wouldn't be oh, mom, if you're out there and you hear me, and then no, bro, mama, I'm coming. It would be one video. Mama, I'm coming. Click. That's it. And after that, I'm off the internet. We going to figure this out.
Or I would have paid the initial ransom right from the get-go. I mean, they were asking for a lot, but I would have scraped every bank account,
$6 million,
pulled out any loan, whatever it was, to get my mom back out.
For sure.
Of there.
At that point, they didn't know whether or not this person really had her. They'd given no proof. They said, if you are out there with my mom, just give me proof. Then they said the next day or a couple days later, hey, we're willing to pay. We get it. We understand. They dropped 3 videos. The FBI comes out and says, I don't know who they're talking to because we don't know that they've had any extra communication with these guys. But, okay, they're willing to pay. We just need proof. Why would you kidnap somebody and not give any proof that you have them if you want the money? You just keep sending TMZ ransom letters with empty threats?
Empty. Because, again, we're way past the deadline at this point.
Way past the deadline for something bad is going to happen. They haven't spelled out what they said was going to happen, and I'm glad they didn't because I don't want to make this whole thing into some like big old drama. But yeah, they have not done anything from what I can tell.
Now, here's another theory I just had in my head.
Oh my God.
No, listen. Y'all got to listen to my theories, bro, okay? What if, again, this is just me. What if Nancy's probably somewhere just kicking it and she the one that's sending all these notes and stuff? And she just kicking it somewhere, probably feet up with her little boyfriend. Because, her husband died. So, she's somewhere. Yeah, he died in 1988. So it's like, what if she out somewhere just kicking it like, hey, send me X, Y, and Z, boom, 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 boom. And she somewhere kicking it.
That would be crazy.
Wow, right? Hey, we ain't think about that.
But then that would in order for that to be accurate, I mean, she would like literally have to hate her family to do that.
I was literally thinking you would have to hate your family.
We don't know.
That would explain the lack of empathy in the videos that we've been seeing
with her family. Her family probably didn't.
Yeah,
it's a
let
lie.
me stop messing with you, bro.
No. This woman has been seen with Savannah Guthrie.
They are good people. They are
in pictures and videos on the
close.
show, the Today Show where Savannah Guthrie works. Like from what I can see, they're close.
They're very close.
You know what I mean? So I don't think that. I will say that I'd seen this other update where apparently Savannah Guthrie's salary was looked up, and a couple other anchors' salary was looked up, and Nancy Guthrie's salary was looked up, and I guess I don't understand. If you guys can determine that someone, I think it was like either last year or the year before that, looked up Nancy Guthrie's salary, and then in 2026 she gets kidnapped, you guys can see that. How come you can't trace that back? I mean, we're talking about the FBI. We're talking about a technology state where we're all being tracked. You know what I mean? We're all being listened to and we're all being tracked. We all know it. And this person has pulled this off this whole time. Even throwing freaking gloves out the window, they still pulled it off, according to police. So, we'll see what happens. We shall see. Another crazy story we've been trying to tell y'all about for days and never got around to it. This is totally switching gears here. Totally switching gears. If you owe a lot of child support, the Trump administration says you ain't going nowhere on nobody's vacation. You're staying right here in America until you can find the money to support your child first.
Yeah. So they're saying that they're targeting people that have to pay $100,000 each, that have $100,000 worth of child support. How do you get that far? I don't necessarily know how you can get that far with child support, but some people have it. Fewer than 500 people fall into that category group right now, but before the government only checked if someone applied for a new passport. Now they will be checking on their own canceled passports if someone owes enough money. So they're attacking the people that owe 100,000, but they're coming for people in general that owe money on child support.
Yeah, so they're stepping up enforcement of this 30-year-old law that lets the federal government revoke a U.S. passport from parents who owe major back child support. So it really applies to people who owe more than $2,500 in unpaid child support. Are you laughing? I feel like you know a couple of people in this. I feel like, never mind.
I'm just laughing.
Why you laughing?
I'm laughing because of the fact that, like, bruh, dudes, I know a bunch of dudes that are on child support that have passports that be going overseas all the time, bruh. All the time. And it's just like, now I'm like, bruh, y'all might just want to stay over there, okay? Y'all might just want to stay over there and don't come back, bruh. Because I know some of my homeboys haven't paid no child support since they had the baby, bruh. Which is, I don't fully believe in child support, to be totally honest with you. So, I mean, that's another debate for another day. But I don't believe in child support.
Why don't you? No, let's debate.
I don't, because child support is if especially if the guy doesn't want the kid and they end up having the baby.
Yeah.
I don't believe that child support the man should have to pay.
Okay, I actually agree to an extent. We've talked, and well, I really don't, because
Okay,
I
hey,
mean,
it's
that's your seed.
I understand.
You did the deed. You made the baby.
100%.
And if she's like, look, I don't believe in abortion. I literally, religiously can't do it. You can't just be like, well, I ain't paying for it.
But you can.
But you could make one.
But that's the thing. You can say, hey, I don't want this kid. I don't want a baby.
So then why did you lay with me in this way that could literally make a baby?
Because I was intrigued and excited.
Intrigued.
And, happy. But yeah, I think that, if you're able to procreate, then I should be able to be like, hey, I don't want this kid. Now, it's up to you. So you're going to keep it? Cool. I don't want to be in this kid's life.
That shows a lack of
I'm not saying I would ever do
self-control.
this.
That shows a lack of self-control from any man, though, in general, because it's like, why don't you want to have anytime you lay down with the woman, you should fully know that this could be an outcome.
Yes.
And if you're afraid of that outcome, then why are you doing it with her in the first place?
All right, so let me just paint a picture. No, I'm just
Wait, no.
paint a picture. Have y'all ever? No, I'm joking. But I just don't believe. I fully don't believe it. Now, me personally, I'm taking care of my kids regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My dad took care of me, so I'm taking care of my kids. But I don't fully understand. I don't fully get when the dude says, I don't want this baby. I know what I just did to help make this baby, but I don't want it. So you do it as you will. I don't want to be a part of this kid's life. I don't want children.
Right, but what you want went out the door when you weren't protecting yourself. You
totally
didn't
understandable.
you can't just be like, well, I was negligent and I was doing whatever I wanted and now there's ramifications for that, but I don't want to deal with it. So it's your problem literally because you have to have it.
I get you.
That's crazy.
I get you.
And mind
I
you,
get
just
you.
imagine how much pressure you're putting on the woman in general too. Because then you're saying you can't have this baby. What happens? You're pushing abortion on her now?
Now she has to have an abortion?
Yeah.
That's forcing her. Not you, but that in that
That's like
scenario,
somebody.
Yeah.
someone is forcing you have to have an abortion or you're doing this alone because we did this and I wasn't careful and I put it in you and now you got to go do this to your body or else I'm not going to pay and you're going to have a terrible time trying to figure out how to do all this.
I mean, it's your
That's
body.
crazy.
It's your body, your choice. I will always say that to any woman. You know what I mean? You do what you feel like you need to do if you want to keep it or you want to get rid of it. But me, I'm going to do what I need to do and walk away.
Wow.
I will say, since that passport denial program started in 1996, they have collected $621 million in overdue child support
Straight
payments. So how about that? Y'all ain't going nowhere until you can find the money for it. Y'all ain't nothing. Y'all ain't nothing. I wish I could say the word I want to say on this show.
Oh my God, that's funny.
All the men in the comments talking about, yeah, we don't believe in child support either. Man, bump y'all.
Well,
Actually, we appreciate y'all in the comments.
Yeah,
bump
yeah.
you.
Don't
Bump
leave.
you, Rondell.
Don't leave.
Okay, we have a lot more show coming at you on the Atlanta side of this, so don't go anywhere. We're right back after the break.